What's up, my unstoppable people? Welcome to the Unstoppable Podcast with me and my brother D, aka Loyal Society Collection CEO. What's up, big bro?
Hey, what it do, Bo? How you been, man?
Man, hanging in there, man. Hanging
And
in there, hanging in there,
that's
hanging
all.
in
That's
there.
all we can do is just hang, baby.
Yeah. And that's what I think that's what we came to talk about today, right? It's all about hanging in there and just toughing it out, you know? And we was talking a little bit earlier about we're not saying that people don't try, right? We see, right? A, a lot of people start and not finish, right? Because it's difficult, you know. And we also see that if you stay consistent and persistent, you will get a breakthrough, right? So D, I want to get right into it, right?
Oh,
I'm
hey,
gonna
we
try.
gonna get right to the meat and potatoes. So we ain't having no appetizers. We just jumping straight on in it.
So I want to talk about your experience, right, that you had earlier this week, right? Which with your brand, your Loyal Society brand, right? And the rebirth, right? And the conversation you had with it with the gentleman, right?
Uh,
And the inspiration that little bit of inspiration and effect, the cause and effect that you created by you going, you know what I'm saying? By you starting to rebuild again and putting your thing out there and exposing the people to the Loyal Society collection.
oh man, yeah, that kind of caught me off guard, because it's just this little. I'll just say like this: it's this little shipping spot that we go to, man, and it's a husband and wife, they own it, and then there's this brother in there who do graphics, and we just got to talking, whatever, and I don't want to go like way too far back in it, but I went in there with a Loyal Society shirt on, and they was like, "Oh, that's a nice shirt." I said, "Oh, this is just a little brand that I decided to pull out, that I started way back in like 2018." And it was like, and you pulling it back. I said, yeah, I got busy, helping other people start brands and logos and all this other stuff. And I'm like, man, if everybody else is doing theirs, let me do mine. So we got to talking, and uh, I went back another time, and the husband was there. And so the wife introduced me to the husband. And he's asking me all about it and stuff, and I told him the backstory on Loyal Society, and and he was trying to figure a way out. It's like, man, how can we help you? And I'm like, I don't know, man. I said, because I'm dealing with stuff that got to be made. It's not stuff that's already made, and you guys can house in the back, and somebody come and they can buy it. So I don't know. We had that conversation, and both of us are always trying to figure out how to get rid of the middleman, because the middleman is the one that makes the art costs so high.
Yeah,
And we agreed on that, because it's like, man, and if you can figure out how to get that middleman out, then you can lower the price of your product, because you don't have to pay that person. You're doing everything wholesale prices, and you can give the customer a break on the retail. And I
yeah,
was like, yeah, I said, yeah, cool, So me and him started talking, and me and the wife already talked, and left from there. It was cool. It was a cool little conversation. But when I went back last week, that's when it really hit the fan, because I went back and I was shipping off product, and I looked over it on their racks, and I was like, oh, I said, I like that. I said, it's that puff print. So I went over there and I felt on it, looked at the product or whatever. I was like, oh, that's pretty nice. So then the husband comes out of the back of the room and was like, man, I just wanted to tell you, after talking to you, man, you really inspired me to go out and do my own brand. I said, no way, man. He's like, man, I'm really telling you, man. And he said, hey, we go back and we look at your Loyal Society page, and the stuff that you have on there, they was like, man, it's nice, it's simple, it's no obscenity, nothing like that. And it's really clean and cut. I was like, man, thank you. And then the wife was like, you are really photogenical. And I'm like, oh no, get out of here, get out of here. You know, us men, you know, we like, man, I ain't photogenical, man. You know, she was like, no, man, really.
Yeah.
And you know, it's like we want to ask you, like, when you take pictures of your product, are you taking pictures and then photoshopping the backgrounds in, or what? I said, man, I'm gonna tell y'all like this. I said, man, most of those pictures that y'all see me in, because I model my own stuff. Y'all like, man, that's either the side of my house or the front of my house or me standing in front of my cars. That's pretty much it. And they were like, man, we thought you photoshopped that stuff in there. And I'm like, nah. They said, man, those pictures are really good, man. And it's like, but I'm just letting you know. And then they, you know, we start talking about other stuff. And I'm not a gatekeeper at all, right? And so they're asking about products and they're asking about like certain materials and vinyls and all of this. So I'm running game with them. And they like, man, we really appreciate that, man, because you know we really want to get our product and our brand out there. I said, man, I
Yeah.
said y'all to get it out there. I said, but the whole thing is just us as individuals. You want to make sure that you doing it the correct way. You want to
Mm.
do something inventive, but also you want to be able to control your quality control. You know, which is something that we can't really handle, like when we shipping it out and it comes back and it's like, ah man, this is not what I'm looking for my hat, for example, right? I went and say, look, this I want my hat to look like. And
Yeah.
then from there it's like, okay, yeah, we got it. And you go back and you look at it and be like, man, this is not what I said I needed. But when you know you can do it yourself
Yeah.
and make it happen, you already know it. Like, bro, you know what? This ain't it. Let me restart. But
Yeah.
anyway, getting back to them, and that's there was like, yeah, they said, man, we mess around and we put a machine in the back. You know, we got a cutter and we got this and we got that, and you know, and I forgot the dude's name, man. My bad if he ever listens to this. I forgot his name, but he is their graphic designer. So they was like, yeah, he gets on the computer, he'll design this up. We'll send it to the cutter, and then once it gets cut, it's like boom, we go ahead and press it right then and there. I was like, yeah, I said I got a little. I said, yeah, you know, got the little cutter. You know, you go through it, put it on the shirt, and you looking like, would this work? Yes or no? They was like, man, exactly. But at the end of it all, man, it's like, man, we just want you to know, man, just you coming in and having conversations with us, it really really inspired us to start doing this with what we're doing, because they make the shirts and they hang it up in their thing. And I'm like, man, I said that's cool, that's cool. And they're like, so what's up, are you designing anything new? And I was like, man, I designed one thing new, you know, told him what it was. I said, right now I'm having a creator's block. And he was like, man, I'm telling you, bro, and his wife was like, yep, he had a creator block October, November, December, January. So she said, "With that time you came in, I don't know what you did, what you said, but it inspired him to go ahead
Yeah.
and make that happen." So that, you know,
Yeah.
that's my story in a short. You know what I'm saying? So, but I walked out of there feeling cool, and I came home and I told Megan, I was like, "Man, they said I inspired them to do something." So I was like,
Yeah.
"Cool." So what I'm gonna do? My next thing, I'm gonna go over there. I'm gonna just go buy a shirt and say, "You know what? Hey, I want to support y'all. Boom, let me buy this shirt."
And CD, and that's kind of how it that that going, right? Because we don't know who's watching, we don't know who's looking, right? But you know you cooking, right? You know you doing the work, and you just like, man, I really want my thing to go full throttle, right?
Yeah.
But somebody watching you, right? They're watching you, they get inspired, they getting encouraged, right? And just by you going in there displaying your work and trying to get the best quality for your work and push your work out there, you inspire somebody else, right? Because by the by me hearing it, he probably came out with wanted to come out with a brand, but he just wasn't moving. But by
Mm-hmm.
you walking in there and him seeing you, you know what I'm saying, and talking to you, he like, man, I was in the same lane, but I gave up, right?
Yeah.
So that's why it's important, like, not to give up, right? I wanted to hear your story because we both had those kind of episodes, right? And I want you to share yours first because it's important. Because you as a person, right? that kind of pulled back because you got busy with other things, right?
Mm-hmm.
But when you came and we started working together on Unstoppable, you kind of got exposed as well to a lot of stuff that you didn't have time to look for at the time, right? To look at the time, but because we was working together and you was willing to come and help me out and be a part of Unstoppable, right? You got to see a lot of things, and you like, oh shoot, you know what I'm saying? And that's a good thing, right, D?
Yeah, that's a good
Because
thing because you know what? When I'm in the background and I'm just designing, right? I'm designing and it's like people, hey, this, oh, I want this to look like this, boom, 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 and then once you're done designing that artwork, you send it off to them, and then next thing you know, like for instance, you got the money train on right there, right? That was a design on my computer, but then when you go and you see it on apparel, you like, dang, bro,
yeah,
that's fire.
man,
So going from a designer to actually seeing it, then going from a designer to actually getting that design on a product, a hoodie,
yeah,
t-shirt, backpack, whatever, you like, bro, that's
yeah.
really fire. And you
And,
just see stuff come to life.
and it's really inspirational to the ones that know you the most in the close, right? They
Yeah.
know you most. They the closest to you. They don't watch you, and that's what says me to the next thing I want to talk about. My experience, right, on all the stuff that I do besides like the branding and the marketing is like the motivational speaking is the encourage and inspire, right? And I was pulling into work the other day, right? And I had a childhood friend call me as I'm getting out the car, and this is I get calls like this every now and then, right? They don't happen every day, but every now and then, one of my peers call me and tell me, "Wow, I watch you every day, man, and it's inspirational, it's motivational, right?"
Mm-hmm.
And this one was heartfelt. This call was heartfelt to me because, and they all are, right? They all are. But it came to me at a time, right, when I needed inspiration, right? And I told him that I'm like, he talked to me and he was telling me like, man, I listen to your stuff all the time, man, and I just want to tell you to keep going. I don't know. A lot of other of our peers told you, but I'm telling you, I'm calling you right now and letting you know, like I watch your stuff every day, and just keep going because it's helping me, right? And I told him like, this call is helping me, right? And because I'm not always feeling unstoppable, and you can do it. I have down days. I make mistakes, and things of that nature, though, and I need encouragement, right?
Yeah.
So that was an encouraging call. So it changed my whole perspective of the day, right? And those are the things that people don't understand, right? That can help people along. Like, people don't always need your dollar, right? People don't need a whole bunch of your time. But people always gonna need encouragement. They're gonna always need words of encouragement, right?
Yeah. So true.
So we both fed off each other that morning, man, and it made me feel like I am doing the right thing. It reinforced what I was doing, right? And it's putting me on notice as well. And what we was talking about earlier, it's gonna keep me dang, what's the word I'm looking for? I lost the word. It's gonna keep me on notice. It's gonna make sure I stay doing what I'm supposed to be doing, right? Even when I don't do what I'm supposed to do, I gotta get back to it, right?
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is it's like what I'm saying is this: you never know if you don't go, right? You never know if you don't go and keep going and keep going. You never know who you gonna help, who you gonna inspire, who you gonna encourage to go off and do something, right? And I see it. I see it, bro. Like I'm watching, right?
Uh-huh.
And it's not no big quantum leap. The the tide will start to shift as the mind shifts. You know what I'm saying? No, it's kind of like, okay, we was doing this one thing, right? And we dug, and we didn't reach goal, right? So we gotta go look at the blueprints, the map. Like it has to be gold here somewhere, right? So we got to shift our mindset. We might have to pull out that hole and go dig somewhere else. You know what I'm saying? And oh yeah, we did all this work to get down here, right? Thought it was gold here, right? We thought it was something here. It's nothing here. So the mind has to shift. The shovel has to come out. All the equipment has to come out and go somewhere else where the goal is. So we got to find the goal, right? And if we stop, we'll never find it, right? If
Yeah.
we dug down there and didn't find gold and stopped, we still came up short. You know what I'm saying? But if you don't stop, you keep digging until you hit it. It don't matter how tired you get, uh, how lonely you get, how depressed you get, right? If you believe in something and you want it so bad, right? You gotta go for it.
You got to
You
go
gotta
for it.
go,
Yeah,
right?
that's true.
And I talked about this in one of my reels, but I was watching the movie Unstoppable, bro, and I know this was a fictional movie, right? It was well, no, it was based on a true story. You know what I'm saying? And I just seen his struggle, right? I seen everything he had to go through, all the adversity he had to face, and I'm like, man, this is life, right? This is life happening at its rarest form. This is a person that went through every single thing. But you know what he was, D? He was tunnel. You know what I'm saying?
He,
Like,
he was locked
God,
in.
he was locked in. He like, I gotta get to it, no matter what, right? I gotta do this. And then his teammates looked at him like he was insane in the beginning when he worked out, right? When he was hopping on one leg up the mountain and doing, he did every exercise they did, right? He might have to. I seen the guy grab his shirt, tie up his shirt to carry the dumbbell or something up the stairs, right? Because I they was passing they was passing the weight, the plate, the weight. You know what I'm saying? And he had to carry it. It was just what I'm saying is nothing could stop him. He was unstoppable,
And
right?
that's how we gotta be sometimes, though. I mean to cut you
Yeah,
off, but that's what we gotta be sometimes. But it be them times, man. When you it be them times, man. It be them times.
yeah. No, yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Cause like I say, when my partners called me that morning, it was one of them times for me. You
Yeah,
know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm keeping it fully transparent. It's one of them times where I wasn't feeling unstoppable. And when that call, bro, you feel me? Like with that call, and it just made me say, you know what? When he said that they helped him, right, and it motivated him, he like, I'm slapping my boots on too, and I'm about to go out there and I'm about to get in the dog fight.
yeah,
It made me feel proud, and it made me feel not alone. You feel me?
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's just like I'm gonna do it alone or I'm gonna do it with a group, right? But I'm gonna do it. You know what I'm saying? And those words of encouragement will help you do it. You will get there faster. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause you don't feel so alone, no, right? And then being alone sometimes it could turn you bitter if we don't stay focused on the goal, right? D? Remember we was just talking earlier about staying focused because I get unfocused sometimes. You know what I'm saying? And that's just not a good place to be. It's if you're trying to work to get somewhere, if you're trying to become something, if you're trying to really do what you say you're gonna do, you have to stay focused, right? There's gonna be hard times, like you said, right? It's gonna be difficult, right? And that's what we wanted to touch on today. It being difficult, right?
Yeah.
And it being hard. And we was talking about it earlier when we walked into this thing is don't run when it get difficult, right? Don't run when it get difficult. Because if you run, you never gonna get there. You run in the opposite direction. You run away from your dreams, your goals, your visions. You saying I'm done. And we never gonna get all the stuff that we dreamed about, right? I've been up since 2 in the morning, bro, thinking, right? And just thinking and like probably not having very much motion, you know what I'm saying? Like not a lot going on, but the brain is racing, right? I'm looking at things. I'm getting inspired by things, right? And we gotta stay right there. We gotta stay in the moment. And it's hard.
Yeah, it's hard because when it's not making that progress like we think it should make, you shift it, you shift into something else.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, that project that you was working on, it still needs you to go ahead and finish it. And
Hmm.
I'm not gonna say you got to stay there. Sometimes you got to move a little bit, and
Yeah.
it refreshes you from that thing that you've been stuck on for a moment. But you got to go back. You got to go
Yeah.
back and touch that. And I think that's where a lot of people uh see like the beginning phases of stuff, and they like, oh man, y'all ain't doing that, y'all ain't doing that, but they don't understand that the motion in the background,
Yeah.
and a lot of times this is what I see, and I could be wrong. A lot of times, especially when you get to talking to people want to
Mm.
see that final result first in order for them to say, "Oh yeah, I'm a rock with him. I'm a rock with him." You know what? Rock with me while I'm digging, while I'm in it. Rock with me, so that way when I do hit that final thing that I'm trying to hit, and I talk to you about it, you could be like, "Bro, I followed this dude from the whole way, from the beginning all the way to the end. He went through this, and this, and now I see, he got the house, he got the car that he was talking about he wanted to get." And
Yeah.
and now he speaking at multiple conferences. I seen this dude work. Me
Yeah.
personally, sometimes I see stuff where somebody's already there, and I'm like, bro, what did you do to get to this point? We seeing your final results.
Yeah.
I didn't see you. I didn't see you while you were going through it.
Yeah. So
I want to, because that journey that you went through, that's probably the same journey that but I want to see the steps. I'm a visual person. I don't want to
yeah.
see you while you got the mansion, 5 Ferraris, 2 Bugattis. I'm like, bro, how do I
Yeah.
know that you really got that doing this? You know what I'm saying? But that's just me, and it's each is on for everybody. But you said you did this, and I've seen you. Now
Yeah.
I know, I physically know that he went through that
Yeah.
to get there. Or even when you, like, let's just say your boy Et from the beginning, right? I listened to Et before he got to where he's at, and it's like, man, this dude doing it. His
Yeah.
his partners is waiting. His partners is locked in waiting. They doing it now. Look at Et now. Et all over the place.
The
You know what
best
I'm saying?
motivational speaker in the world, man.
Man, but that's
That's the
that's
goal.
a lot of people though, man, don't want to start with the little people because the little people ain't where the big people at. But the big people
Yeah.
been where the little people been, but you just didn't see their journey.
Yeah. And that's why I feel like our podcast is no, not just the podcast, D. What you doing over there with Law Society? What we doing with Unstoppable, right? What we doing with the podcast? What I'm doing with the reels in the morning, the motivational speaking stuff. Like me personally, I'm an open book, right? And it sucks sometimes, but I learned how to switch it into some motivation, right? I learned how to turn it into a positive thing, all right, by being transparent, right, as much as I can until what I'm saying. It's like we're showing the work, right? We doing exactly what you say you like to see. Like we didn't pop up with the two Raris, right, and say this you can do this. No, this is step by step, play by play, right in our peers' face, right? Not stunting, like showing them that, hey, we just putting our best foot forward. Give us a listen, right? Uh, Try out our merch, right? Listen to our podcast. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody has a beginning, right?
Everybody got a beginning.
And I think in today's time, because everything is so microwaved and so instant, right? Everybody wants an instant, especially our youth, right? Like we tell our boys, man, We building brand. Build with us. Y'all hoopers, right? This can be y'all thing. Y'all don't even like, but they waiting on they. I don't know what they waiting on, but they just feel like, oh, you guys are not known everywhere, everywhere. With your assistants, you can have your own thing, and your thing can be known everywhere, right? So that's just like one thing, right? We can't force them, right?
No.
They young, right? But what I'm saying is, if you think on a larger scale, right? Like the boss, right? They had the first idea like we gonna make the most off of us. We gonna put our shoes on our feet. We gonna put our clothes on our back. And because of our influence, we would like y'all to support and rock with us. If y'all rock with us, this is how we rocking, right? And because what corporate America is gonna do is give you a check, right? And gain the most.
Oh.
They gonna make more money off your name.
Oh, for sure.
They gonna give, you know what I'm saying? And to each his own, though. You know what I'm saying? But what I'm saying, if you want something that's your own, though, it gotta start. It gotta start from the ground up, and it's not gonna happen overnight. You know, and I totally understand that. Like we talk about ET, you exposed me to ET, and I think that was the best thing that ever happened to me. Like that was like one of the best things that ever happened to me because it took me to a whole nother parallel, right? It gave me a slap in the face, right, when he talked in the beginning because he gets loud, right?
Yeah.
And then it made me realize a lot of the stuff that you whining about, it's on you. It's your fault. So that's when the work started. It's like, man, I looked up, said, it's all me. It's all me, right? Like I can't point my finger at him, her, nobody else. So once I was aware of that, right, that's not where the work stopped at, D, right? It's still a process right now, a process of rearranging things and adjusting things, right? And it don't happen overnight.
No.
Like you know what I'm saying? So what I just want to tell everybody is that it's not gonna happen
Yeah.
overnight. This is like right here, what we doing is 4 or 5 years of work.
Man, it's work, man. It's like building buildings, man. Them buildings don't. You ain't got
Yeah,
no pop up building. I think if you had a pop up building, you wouldn't be going into the building because you like, man. I don't think it's secure. You
yeah,
know, but in the beginning, man, that's the infant stage, man. I always call that the infant stage because when you grow up, you don't grow up to be an adult. You growing up as a toddler, as an infant. You know, 1 through 5. You don't know nothing. I tell my kids
yeah,
that I say, man, y'all got to think like this, man. Okay, I'll be not doing it for yeah, but the first 5, 1 through 7, you ain't no crap. You
yeah,
ain't know nothing.
yeah,
But all of a sudden, y'all think y'all get to this point, and then wow, the whole world didn't open up to y'all now. No, it's still a whole bunch more to go. The beginning part is the most critical point that you could be at because you're going from nothing trying to
mhm,
grow it into something, and I can't yeah, I think you said it already, man. It's instant gratification. They think you just gonna add water and then poof, it just automatically gonna be there. It's
yeah,
struggles. It's just like when you're in a relationship, there's
yeah,
struggles in that joint, bro. Your relationship ain't gonna be gravy 100%.
yeah,
It's gonna be struggles, and it depends on how much work that you decide to put into that relationship. It's
yeah,
gonna be how much you get out of that relationship, man. And I tell people, it's like, man, if you put nothing in it, don't expect nothing out of it.
yeah.
You know, and then
And
you gotta
and that,
understand though, bro. You
uh-huh.
you you grow with it. You grow with it, right? You gotta grow with it. You gotta grow with that individual.
Yeah, you start forming, you start changing,
You
right?
start changing, man, and it's difficult. Like we said, it's difficult times with this clothing stuff, and
Yeah,
I'm just relating a relationship to your clothing brands because that's sort of kind of like what it is. That's your baby. You know, because
Yeah.
like I think I said it earlier, right? You know, like me and the wife, we've been together for 30 years, and I'm like, man, I've never been with somebody this long. And then the stuff that she said she used to like, she no longer likes
Yeah.
because it's changing. It's changing time. So that you know what that means? That means I gotta not relearn her, but I have to in order
Yeah.
for me to fulfill the things that she likes, the things that she likes to do. Because you
Yeah.
got to think, if we stay one way all the time,
Yeah.
it ain't
It
working.
gets pretty boring.
Yeah, we gotta mold. You know, we gotta shake. We gotta bake. We gotta twist and turns, and that's what it is. Also with your clothing line, you doing it this one way, and then just say, hey man, you know what? This shirt that I used, I don't
Mm-hmm.
like it. It's too thin for this particular season. Let's put it like
Yeah.
that. For this particular season, I need something that's going to be a little bit more meatier, a little more buff, but I also don't want it to be too hot. You know what I'm saying? So now you got to find that happy median within your brand
Mm-hmm.
for that season. So we could just say we going into what we getting ready to go into. Well, we in winter season now, so we getting ready to go into spring.
Spring, right?
So now you got to find that specific type of material,
Yeah.
specific type of undergarments, t-shirts, hoodies, whatever, because there's hoodies for every season. There's heavy hoodies, there's thin hoodies, there's
Colors
medium
too.
hoodies, you
And
know.
there's colors,
And,
right?
and, and there's colors for each for each season. This is stuff that
I
you learn this along the way,
I
you
just
know.
yeah, I just learned that like in the summertime I learned that, right?
Yeah,
Cause D, I'm gonna tell you, I'm not a fashionable guy, right? But I wanted to put clothing on people back that inspires,
that
right? That
inspires.
inspires and encourages, right?
Yeah,
So what I had to do is a little by little, I had to learn. And you taught me a lot of stuff that I needed to learn. You taught me about the prints and like one day a guy asked me, "Hey, it was a while ago, right? Do you know about this?" Right? No, well, I can use you, right? You said, "Hey, you know what screen print is? Hey, you know what this is? Yeah, you know." I didn't know nothing. I just wanted to put things on shirts, right? Stuff that inspired people, right?
yeah,
So,
yeah.
so you taught me those things, right? But because I was green when I came in and I was willing to learn, bro, right? I was willing to learn, right? And I'm still willing to learn. And sometimes learning doesn't feel good, right? Because I told you what I really want to do, right? I want to speak, right? I want to be one of the best speakers possible. But like you said, you have to evolve, right? So when we came with Unstoppable, I told I said, bro, okay, I want to sell merch, right? I want to speak, right? I want to have a podcast. And we dropped all those things pretty quick, right? Without nobody knowing who we are, right? Nobody except our peers, right? Nobody knows us, really, right?
Yeah,
And I did that for a reason, bro. I did it because, and I remember your nephew, my oldest boy, he said, "Dad, how you gonna do all these things?" I said, "Cause I want to do it." You know what I'm saying? Like, and I love my kids, I love my boys, but he couldn't see, right? Sometimes people tell me stuff and I can't see it. I don't say they can't do it. They just can't. I just can't see it, right? I can't see it, right? And he was like, "Dad, how you gonna do all this stuff?" Doing it, right? Right now, we doing it. We shooting a podcast. We got clothing lines, right? Doing the motivational speaking. No, it's not 100 people or 10,000 people in front of us right now as we speaking and we talking and we doing all these things. But that's the work, right? That's the
that's the word.
beginning process, right?
That's the word.
So I think individuals say, "How you think you're going to be able to do this?" Right? Because in reality, they don't see themselves doing it, right? And when some people, right? No shade. Some people, when they can't see themselves doing it or they not interested in it, of course they're gonna shun you off. Of course they're gonna say, "Oh, you're wasting your time." right? And some can be very cruel, right? When they do these things, right? So
Man,
D, I want to get this other thing in, right? Because it's something that I heard, a podcast that I heard, and it led me down. You know, like I say, once I start following ET, right, the ET, the hip hop preacher, um, it led me down a trail of other motivational speakers and other podcasts and this thing and this such, right? So this one podcast I was listening to, I don't know the guy name, but I want to share this with y'all, right? I just want to share it with y'all real quick. I'm gonna do it fast as I possibly can, right? His podcast was called The Devil's Playbook, right? And it was so dead on spot. I had to laugh out loud for at least 30 minutes, right? So what he did, D, was he went to GTP, right?
uh-huh.
He went to AI, the chat, right? And he typed in, if I ask the devil, right, what to do to stop a person to become successful, basically give me a playbook on how to stop a person that wants to become successful. And D, right, Chat GTP wrote a playbook, right? And I'm gonna tell you some of the things that was on there. Whether it's friends or family, they gonna discourage you, right? They gonna tell you can't do it. You're not gonna be able to do it. Who do you think you are to do it, right? It's gonna be too hard, right? Stay right here, right? It's more, all the things that we hear every single day, right? I'm talking about all the things that you hear from different people spitting the different content out at you, the positive content, right? So
Man.
what I'm saying is, Chat GTP is saying this. You hear me?
And
So
that and
what's
that's
so,
and that's artificial intelligence.
and that's artificial intelligence, right? D. So I had to laugh out loud because I embrace some of these things. I face some of these things, right? Whether it's what was in myself or it was from other parties, right? But I just had to laugh out loud because I knew I was onto something. You know what I'm saying? Like when you kind of know, it's like, I'm not giving it up. You know what I'm saying? I'm not giving it up because it's kind of like a computer told me that you was going to tell me this, right? And then before the computer told me that you was going to tell me this,
You was already
right?
telling me.
Yeah, he was already telling me. And then I had other people in other areas that are already successful telling me that you're going to tell me this,
Hey, but
right?
you know what though, bro? This is why I tell people, man, if you ain't got no hate, you ain't doing
Yeah,
something right. If
yeah.
people not hating you, you not doing something right.
Hey, D, but look though, it, and he used the devil's playbook, right? Because the devil's tricky, right? And what I mean by people are tricky, they slippery, they snaky, right?
Man.
They come with love, right? But in the other hand, is the demise and disgust. But they don't want to show that hand though, right?
Man.
So
Hey,
they
but
sugarcoat it with certain words though, D, right?
yeah. But you know what though, man? I found out most of the time it's people who want to do what you do. They don't know how to do it, but they want to discourage you from doing it because whatever they tried to do, it didn't work.
Yeah.
Now,
And and
people going to encourage you. Those are the people that's like, man, they want to see you. They want to see you grow. They
they want to
actually
see you
trying to
win.
do something.
Yeah. And because it comes from certain people, and this is where it gets tricky, and this is what we hear all the time, like the stuff that I follow, this what we hear all the time. Because it comes from somebody that you may love, or it comes from somebody that you've known for all your life, or it comes from somebody that you really, really are inspired by already, right? And they tell you certain things, and it's like, it makes you second guess yourself. It makes you start to make mistakes. It makes you get unfocused. Some people, though, not everybody, but that's what it's designed to do, right? And it's also that they don't even know that they're doing it. So that's why is the best is to stay. The best thing to do is to stay focused, right? Because when I'm talking, so you know, I'm talking to myself, it's because it's like if you don't stay focused, and then you home in on that, right? Now you focusing on that, like, oh, why they don't want me to do it, or why they saying I can't do it, instead
Yeah,
of just proceeding to go and do it. You know what I'm saying? So, like me, and it was tricky for me too, because I had a big need to be liked. I wanted to be liked, right? But when I seen in this lane that I'm in now, hey, when you gotta stand bold and be brave and be like, hey, they might not like this, but I'm gonna say it anyway, right?
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Or I'm going to do it anyway. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yeah, you gonna either love it or hate it, you respect it or not,
or
but I'm
not.
still gonna do it. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
yeah. But also too, I think like, you want to be an open book. We want to show this and show that. But the whole thing too, though, sometimes people see kinks in the armor
Mm-hmm.
and they start poking at that, and they start poking at that, and they start hitting that, and it's like we only human, man. You only can take and you only can hold so much
Mm-hmm.
without jumping off the rails.
Yeah.
And that's why I say sometimes, man, we got to surround ourselves with like-minded people, because some people just gonna keep poking at that clink in your armor to see what you gonna do, and then when you decide to just blow up, they gonna say, "I
Right.
told you he ain't what he said he was." It's like, man, if you don't leave me alone, I'm a work in progress. I am a
Yeah.
work in progress. If you don't
Yeah.
like what I'm doing, get off my channel, get off my Instagram. Don't come
Yeah.
around me
Yeah.
if you don't like what I'm doing. So obviously, you just here, like we said, the devil's playground, right? You just here to steal, kill, and destroy. I don't need that. And that's
Yeah.
what we gotta recognize is like, man, you know what? This person right here ain't cool for me.
Yeah.
Let me cut them off. And you got to be cool with cutting them off.
Yeah.
Because you can't say I'm gonna cut them off and then you still holding on. Now
Yeah.
it's becoming detrimental not only to your business, but it's becoming detrimental to your mindset, because now you're still worried about what this cat is over here saying. I'm the
Yeah.
king of cut off. You can ask my wife. I'll cut off in a minute, and I will not go back and say hi, fly, bye, whatever. I'm cutting
That's
your butt off,
Gemini.
and I keep it moving. And my wife be looking at me like, you can't do that. I'd be like, watch me work.
That that's Gemini. That Gemini ain't no joke, man. The Gemini sign ain't no joke.
Man,
But D,
what's
I
up?
didn't mean to cut you off, but like, yeah, but like for the most part, it is what we getting at is it's gonna be some adversity, right? And it's
Yeah,
not. It's gonna be some like whatever a person is trying to do. You trying to go to school. You want to play sports. You want to make it to a professional sports. You want to be a doctor. You want to be a lawyer. You want to do branding, marketing, motivational speaking, teacher. Whatever you want to be, there's going to be adversity,
it's gonna be
right?
adversity. Yes,
And
sir.
and all I want to home into is it's not going to happen overnight. And the things that we talked about in this podcast, they're gonna happen.
It's
It's
gonna
no way
happen.
around it. It's
It's
gonna
gonna
happen,
happen. Yeah,
right?
and you got to be okay with it happening, and you can't get stuck in your feelings. You got to be like, man, because I ain't gonna lie. Sometimes when I do something, and my wife be like, well, I don't know. It hit for a minute, but then I gotta go
Yeah,
back and be like, okay, you know what? She's coming from a place of love. She wants me to succeed. She wants me to do and go out and be great. Because she just hit me the other day, say, I ain't seen nothing in about 2 weeks. And I was like, you know what? You're right. I haven't did nothing in about 2 weeks for son not for Loyal Society. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? So I'm just like, man, you're right. I said, I gotta get in there. But I'm not gonna lie. I've been on this little mental thing where it's like. I,
yeah.
I gotta get out of that place so I can go out and be great. And it came from a place of love because she wants to see me win.
You want to
And
see you win, bro?
and that's what we gotta have. We gotta be surrounded. We gotta be surrounded by people who want to see us win. And sometimes being pushed is
Yeah,
uncomfortable.
Yeah.
We got to be uncomfortable so we can get comfortable. You know what I'm saying? Because I want to be comfortable. I always say it. It's like, I don't want to be in that place where I got to worry about if I go do this, how am I going to pay that back? I want to be able to go do this and don't worry about where that money went to because I got plenty more coming from what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And right now we're in a place where us as individuals, being entrepreneurs, being small business owners, is like we kind of robbing Peter to pay Paul
Yeah.
to get it going,
Yeah.
you know. But
To keep it going. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? To keep
but
it
but we
going,
want
like,
we want to get to the place where once it's going, it's going. But
yeah.
then we
And
still have to be on top of our game to keep it going because we still got to go back and be the thinkers, the creators, the go
mhm.
doers because we don't have employees in place to really say, okay, you know what, boss, don't worry about it. I got
Yeah.
marketing. Boss, don't worry about it. I'm gonna go down here to these companies and see what kind of materials. We all in
Yeah.
it. We the employee. We the business developers. We the marketers. We the promoters. So it take a lot.
It
But
take
like
a
you said
lot.
in earlier, we got to be consistent at it though, right? We have to be
Yeah.
consistent because if we're not consistent, it ain't generating.
Yeah.
And
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 that's what
and that's what she said when she said that's like, man, I ain't generating nothing. And we talk about being consistent, but I ain't being consistent. But we going through the struggle. So all the people who need to be listening to this podcast or watching this podcast, we ain't made it there yet. Y'all going through the struggles with us. We struggle.
yeah.
We struggle because it's a struggle to be a business owner and on top of that, do all the other stuff that you got to do. So
Yeah.
therefore, that's some of the difficulties about small businesses. It's not a lot of us, and you don't want to trust your like when you have a baby, you don't want to trust that baby to a stranger.
Yeah.
This is our babies, and we don't want to trust it to a stranger. But it's going to be a point to where we get to year 6, 7, it's being productive. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? It's starting to draw in income, and
Yeah.
and and in times like that, man, it's like, all right, I gotta let the babysitter go babysit so I can go to work.
Yeah. And you know, the babysitter, right? It has to be a like-minded person, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, eventually, the company is gonna get to a point to where it's like people are just here for a paycheck. You know what I'm saying? Because you're gonna have those people.
Yeah, every
And
business got them people, man. I'm just here for a
yeah,
paycheck. All right. Well, you're gonna
the,
be in this position because since you just here for a paycheck, this is the position you're gonna be in.
this is the position you get.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
And
need people that's gonna help innovate and motivate and grow the
yeah,
company.
and grow the company. You know what I'm saying? Because we all here to make money, but if we don't make no money, then nobody get paid. You know what I'm saying? Though, and so I learned a lot of that within being in the company, though, and it's not easy, right? It's a lot of moving parts, like you just said. It's a lot of moving parts that go with that. You gotta be focused. Your mind gotta be there, and sometimes the mind's not there. You know, it's elsewhere. You know, people got a million things on their plate, and they. But what you said is our baby, right? So we got to be hands on, right? We
Yeah.
got to be able to see it through, right? And I'm just a firm believer. I just told somebody the other day. I said, yeah, it looks kind of grim right now, right? But once we get this thing on a string, right? Once
Mm-hmm.
we get this thing on a fail proof system, because as we grow, other companies is running on the system, and companies are thriving, right? We showing y'all right now the groundbreaking uh, Law Society and Unstoppable, right?
Yep.
Two brands that's building, right? Like, nope, we ain't got 100,000 followers, we don't got 1 million views, we ain't riding around in Rarries. No, we showing you every day. We sitting here shooting podcasts, sharing y'all with y'all our life, the ups and downs, the highs and lows of future entrepreneurs and entrepreneurs just like us that's going through it. We here letting y'all know that we going through it too, right? But we also letting y'all know don't give up. Because if you have a great idea and you want to do something great, you need it.
Man, yeah.
You need it. You need it for yourself and the people that's around you that you're going to inspire,
That you're
right?
gonna inspire. And it's just like that hate, right? You need that hate.
You do.
Some people can't take it, but sometimes you just
Yeah.
need that hate to let you know, oh, I'm doing something right because you hating on me. You
Yeah.
hating on me
And,
because when you when
and
you
see,
when you bad, bro, I'm telling you,
uh,
everybody wants you to be bad. Everybody want to hang out with you when you down and bad because it feels like you doing worse than me, so I'm okay. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
But
that's
when
that's
you
what I'm
up,
telling you. Yeah.
that's when they like, oh man, you can't do, man. Look, bro, you can't tell me nothing right now, boy. I'm shipping to 5 different states. Y'all ain't seeing it, but hey, I'm smiling every day. I'm doing
Everything.
good. I'm smiling every day. I'm doing good. So
Yeah.
don't come in my lane right now, bro.
Yeah.
But I ain't gonna lie though. I ain't gonna lie. Sometimes you catch me in a bad day, boy. I'm ready to f you up. I ain't gonna lie, but man, that's the whole thing, man.
Yeah, and
Difficulties,
that's
man.
difficult in itself though, not crashing out, right? That's
Man,
another thing I want to touch
difficulties.
on is the crash out because I just really realize in what I see and where I done been, right? Crashing out really don't help nobody. You know what I'm saying though? Because I done been crashing out before, and then I done landed somewhere, and I'm like, dang man, I'm the only one that got to feel this pain right here.
Man,
It felt
hey.
good for that moment when I crashed out. Like it was feeling great. It made me feel better at that particular moment, right? But
Hey,
the end result is I'm still losing,
hey,
right? And so that goes about being focused, right? So that's why you try to keep yourself feeling good, motivated. Me personally, this is what I do. Right, it's what I do is because I don't feel like that all the time. I get stressed, I get depressed, I get down, but I pick my phone up. This is one of my tools though. Like I pick it up, I start scrolling through, and 90, I'm gonna say 90% of my content, bro, is motivational, informational, positivity.
yeah.
And people may walk past me while I'm on my phone and it's loud, and it's playing the same reel over and over again. You gotta be great. You gotta be, you, right? It's just me, and I'm telling you, D, because it's just me and the phone. You can say I'm crazy. You can say I need this to penetrate my skull, right?
Yeah.
Because I'm trying to erase the old stuff. I'm trying to erase it because it pops out.
It pops out,
It
man.
pops out at times,
Hey, but that's
right?
what I tell you, right? If it's in there and
It's
people
gonna
dig
pop out.
enough, that sucker gonna pop out like a jack in the box. You remember the jack in the
Yeah,
box, right? You keep winding that thing up, and all of a sudden it just boom, just
yeah,
it startled people. Hey, man, sometimes it's in there. It's like leave
yeah,
me alone right now
yeah.
because you
And that's
winding
what
up
I
this
do.
jack in the box, do 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 do, and
Yeah.
pow. Be like, man, I didn't know. Hey, I told you, leave me alone, leave me alone.
Hey, so that's why I use the phone. I use the content to push it down, like suppress it,
Man,
cause I
yeah,
don't want to see it. I don't
yeah,
want to see it. I don't want to be it. What I want to be is what I set out to be. Right? I want to be a totally different person than I was in the past. Right? Because another thing I want to share with our listeners and our viewers is that the when I learned I can learn a
man.
whole nother world, bro.
A whole nother
And I
world.
know that I catch on later than others. Some people are like, man, I've been learned that. That's great.
See, Bo, this is the thing. Oh, I,
Hmm.
I, I learned that. I learned that. Okay, you learned it. You still doing the same old stuff I seen you doing 20 years ago. When
Yeah,
are you going to apply the stuff you learned? Because you can't just
yeah,
learn it and oh, I learned it and I'm just going to throw it in the toolbox. Man, you learned it, implement it, use it. And especially if you one of them people that just sit around and be like, oh man, I wish this. Oh man, I could have did this. Oh man, you just told me you learned that, bruh. Put it to
yeah.
put it to work. Put
Put
it
it to
to
work.
work.
Yeah.
That's the part I understand. And some people, like you said, man, was like, oh man, I don't know about that. I don't know about this. Well, I don't know what you know, man. All I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try it, and I say this all the time. I don't ever want to be sitting on my couch saying that, oh man, I shoulda, coulda, woulda,
Yeah.
because you don't
That's
know
the worst
what that could have.
regret.
You don't know what that could have led you to. Now, if you shoulda, coulda, woulda, and you did try it,
Mm-hmm.
and it didn't work out the way you thought it was gonna work out, that's okay. You tried it. But I'm gonna
Yeah.
say this: try again,
Try
because you
again.
learned something along the way while you were doing it. Maybe you didn't promote right. Maybe you didn't use your
Yeah.
social media the right way. Maybe
Yeah.
you decided to say, "Hey, I want to buy $1 T-shirt instead of a $7 T-shirt." Whatever it may
Yeah.
be, you gotta use that. And man, and we say it all the time, man. L's ain't nothing but lessons. That's
Yeah.
all. That's all L's is, and we just say we don't like losing. So we're not gonna win all the time, man. So get that out of
Yeah.
your mind. I'm a winner. I'm a winner all the time. I win all the time. No, not all the time,
Yeah.
man. I'm gonna be real with you. Some days you win, some days you lose. But we want our days to be more winning than losing.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. You
I'm
want
not.
a winning record, right? And I was
Yeah,
just looking at something today, and it was one of the coaches from Alabama football. He was like, "You play to win in practice. When you practice to win, right? Then you go out and win. Like you go hard in practice, right? And when you come out and play the game, because you went hard in practice, like you was playing an actual game, you went all out and you played to win in practice, whether it was a scrimmage or running liners or whatever the drills were. You know what I'm saying? You went all out. You was like, I'm going to be the first one to get across the finish line, right? And that pushes your team, right? And I looked at it this morning and I shared it and I'm like, I almost forgot about this because it was times when I was like, nothing could stop me, right? And like you were saying, like so apply. You know what I'm saying? So what I know is the hard work, it pays off, right? And what I know is if you follow the blueprint, it's gonna work, right? So me, I'm gonna be fully transparent, right? When I stopped following the blueprint and I started going on my own instead of following the blueprint, right? That's where things started to go awry, right? Things started happening that I didn't want to happen. Like, I'm just being fully transparent. I'm like, dang, I'm moving like old Shiny Ball now. You know what I'm saying? It's like you taking L's like the old Shiny Ball. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna be transparent. If you want to go off and not follow the blueprint, you're gonna run into some rough patches. But it's gonna be rough patches. But if you know, like, okay, this is the blueprint, and I must follow it, right? This is how the building gonna get built, right? You can't go all building walls, all freelancing walls. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Then putting things where they don't go. So that's what I'm telling myself. Like, I can't do that, right? I can't do that, right? And I want to be fully transparent because I don't want to make it seem like, what? Nah, I'm human. You know what I'm saying? I'm
yeah,
human. We all human. We gonna make mistakes. But one thing I can say is that I made a million mistakes while we was building this brand, right? But I never gave up on it. Like I'm never gonna give up on it, right? Because I feel like it's so vital to every single person that's out there, right? Unstoppable, right?
yeah,
Because people gotta feel it, right? You gotta walk out the door feeling like I'm gonna conquer today. You know what I'm saying? Like, especially when you're not doing well, right? When you're not doing well, not when you're not already having a good month, a good year, a good week. You gotta wake up in the morning with a proper perspective, right? And be
mm-hmm.
like, man, I'm gonna go out and crush today. Whatever today may hold for me today, I'm gonna fight, right?
Yep,
I'm gonna fight with all my might. If it's picking up an extra 2 boxes at work, if it's staying overtime and I hate overtime, I'm gonna stay anyway. right? Because I'm gonna tell you, I'll be transparent with you. In the beginning, right? In the beginning of my construction days, I ate and skate. Like the first month, it was ate and skate, right? But I seen that's not how winning is done. You know what I'm saying? Though it wasn't how you get a good repertoire or a good name for yourself like that. Because in construction, when they need guys to stay, they need guys to stay. You feel me? So if I wanted to stay, I'm like, I'm gonna be the guy that's gonna stay. Because those are usually the guys that stay. Is the guys that stay. You know what I'm saying? Oh, if
Yeah.
you get me, D? The
Yeah.
guys that stay overtime and put in the work and live at the job site is the guys that stay. They don't want guys there to saying what they can't do. It's a schedule. People money is in this bag already. And
Yes,
you
sir.
telling me what can't be done, right? So I gotta go back to that mentality, like hanging off the side of a building, it's nothing for unstoppable. Digging a trench, nothing for unstoppable. You know what I'm saying? Chipping the concrete, nothing for unstoppable. Like this was the mentality that got me through those years, right?
Uh-huh.
So in my life now, right, and the things that I'm going through now, I face it the same way. It's nothing for unstoppable, right? I'm going to do it no matter what, and that's the energy that I try to put off to people that listen, that's around me. Like I want it to rub off because I want to see you succeed, bro. I want to see you go out there and conquer your dreams and goals. Why would I want to see you sitting somewhere sad and mad? You know, the side of that is not going to help me in one bit. If people really think about it, because that rubs off, right? If
Man.
if I want to see you like sad and mad sitting somewhere, right, and then I got to see your face every day, it's gonna start to rub off on me, right? It's gonna start to rub off on me, and then I'm gonna be like, why he sad and mad? Because your attitude is not cool, right? So you spitting it out, and whoever is in front of you is catching it. They catching the venom. Now they
Catching it.
infected.
Catching it.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So I want to
Catching
see
it.
people win because when you winning, you feel good, right? So when I come around and you winning, right? And then one day I could be winning, we feel good together. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like we high fiving each other, like, yeah, man, you just copped that new car, you just got that new house, man. I'm working on mine too. You know what I'm saying? Like inspirational for each other.
Inspirational. Inspirational, man. Surround
And I just
yourself by people who doing good.
yeah. And that okay, well, yeah, D. And I think in a nutshell, that's like probably we gonna head to the end of the podcast, right? But in a nutshell, that's what it is. Surround yourself by people that champion you when you walk in the room. Surround yourself by people that's gonna encourage you because it rubs off. You feel me?
It
I
rubs off.
encourage you. You encourage me. I believe in you. You believe in me. I believe that we can do it.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
That's
Yep.
all I
Yep.
want to hear. Like really, you know what I'm saying though? Like, and I
Hey,
know it's not all I'm gonna hear. You feel me?
no,
But that's
no.
all I'm gonna hear.
You know,
You know
but
what I'm saying?
and when I mean surround yourself by people that's good, it's not surrounding yourself by a bunch of people that's just gonna tell you, yeah, 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 yeah. No. Because when you surround yourself with good
Like
people, these
yes, man.
good peoples have good intentions for you. They gonna let you know where you fall short.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, hey, I understand you doing this, but while you doing this, you messing this up over here. You don't want to ever say, man, you good, bro. Don't even worry about it, man. Nobody, oh, man, you good, man. Come on, man, you good, you good. No, man, it's because you're not always good. And those yes people will have you further in a hole than you possibly will be in because you feeding off of them. Oh, yeah, man, you good, man. Don't worry about it. No, man, it ain't selling that well, but you good. No, I
Yeah.
don't want to hear that. If I'm not selling that well, hey, yo, bro, okay, what am I missing? Oh man, this is what it is. Now, at 12 o'clock, I got this time. Come over and holler at me, and then we'll go through it.
Yeah.
Besides, oh man, don't worry, you good, you good. That's now, man. Surround yourself by a good group of people who are actually doing what you're doing and want to go places where you going.
Yeah.
Period. That's
Yeah.
it because they gon' those are the ones who really gonna keep it real with you, man. And
Yeah.
I can't say
And
that
they're gonna
enough,
push
man.
you too.
They gonna push you. I got a good group of people that I'm with. You know what I'm saying? And even you in that group as well. But outside, these people even outside of the clothing world, it's just good people that really want to see me do well. That's gonna be like, okay, man, what is it? What you got going today? How is this? How is that? Is there anything
Yeah.
that I can help you with? You know that right there. That goes a long way, man. It goes a long way. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying, man, anybody you got a bad steak and you
Yeah.
can't eat that steak, that gristle all over the place, you gotta cut it and throw it away.
Yeah.
That's what it is with these relationships, man, and the difficulties that come along with that crap, man. We gotta cut that crap off, throw it away,
Yeah.
and
If you
use
want to, yeah. If you want to go forward and higher and faster and stronger, you gotta have you do. Like, I'm not gonna even front. I had so much help to this point. Like, even by just watching people, you know what I'm saying? I had so much help to get to this point. Just the mindset, right?
mm-hmm.
Like I said, I made a million mistakes along the way with this brand, but it's the burning desire, right? So I pull from the good, right? You, like you said, you need the negative, like you need that haterism energy, kind of like, right? You need that resistance because that's what's gonna make you stronger, right? You
Yeah,
need that, right? But you also need the the positivity, and it's a slippery slope because if you let them in, that negativities and stuff in too much, and you should start surrounding yourself by things that's not aligned with your brand or aligned with what you're trying to do, you might find yourself crossing over and staying stagnated, right? Or worse, right?
yeah,
When you
yeah.
really supposed to have been over here working, right? That, like me, I don't like to get pushed. I didn't like to get pushed back then. I don't like to get pushed now. But the difference between now and then is that I know getting pushed is gonna help me grow. You know what I'm saying? Though, like I understand. Like I understand. I don't understand. I understand why you're telling me, right? Now I understand. I understand why you're telling me, right? At first, I'm like, who are you think to tell me, right? But I understand now why you're telling me. It's gonna make me better. It's gonna make me better, right? But it's hard sometimes to accept it because you don't like to get pushed. Nobody does, right? But in order to grow, you're gonna have to, like you said, you're gonna have to get uncomfortable. You're gonna have to be comfortable with being uncomfortable, right? And just like
That's
in the
true.
beginning, like in construction, like I ain't gonna hold this long. I think we over an hour right here, but just like in construction, in the beginning, it was uncomfortable for me to stay overtime, right? But because I like what I was doing and I wanted my job, that was for sure, right? I did what I had to do, right? And I was passionate about what I was doing. Though. You know what I'm saying? I like learning something new every single day because the job changes every day, right? And so when people came to me to teach me stuff, I was open. The old me, you couldn't tell me nothing. I wasn't gonna listen. I ain't gonna do it. But when people tell me stuff now, or they try to show me something, right? I'm watching and I'm learning, right? And I might not apply it right then and there, but it's definitely in my memory bank. And it usually comes to help eventually, right?
Yeah.
It's usually I put it in my tool bag. That's how I made it through construction. Like all these years, I watched somebody else. And if you didn't teach me, right, directly,
Uh-huh.
I was right over your shoulder looking at what you was doing. You know what I'm saying? I was stealing information because you didn't want to show me. I'm like, oh, that's how that get in there, okay? You know what I'm saying? And then
Yeah.
the next time, they're like, oh, go here. I'm going over there. I seen them do it the other day. It gotta work.
It gotta
You know what
work.
I'm saying?
Yeah.
So don't you gotta figure out how to just not, like you said, not get so emotional. Cause I'm an Aquarius. I get emotional a lot, and I try to hold it in as much as I can, so I can learn, so I can grow, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I guess we're gonna wrap it up, y'all. I know I can get long winded. Now I can get long-winded, but this is a great podcast for us. It was the work, and that's what I love to do. I love to just talk about the things that we go through and empowering and encouraging people. Um, Love for my brother to talk about his brand, man, get his thing out there, Law Society Collection, man. The dude, let me tell y'all, this guy right here, y'all looking at, man, very, very creative young man, man. He can do a lot of things, man. So y'all go check him out on his Law Society page, Law Society Collection D. I guess you can leave your link to your Instagram in there, man. Let the world know about the Law Society Collection, home of
Oh,
the elephant.
oh man, you say home on an elephant, man. Home on an elephant, man. Hey, that's the most to me. That's the most loyal creature on this earth, man. Because you can whatever. You treat it right, it's gonna be loyal. But hey, don't do nothing wrong. It's gonna remember. It's gonna try to stump you out. Hey, no, but no, anyway, though, man, Loyal Society, man, you can find it on Instagram. I'm only on Instagram right now. Loyal underscore society underscore collection. That's where we at, man. That's where we trying to make it happen, man. And basically, it is what it is. Loyal Society, stay loyal to your soil, man. Whatever you do, man, you just stay loyal to the things that you do, and hopefully it'll turn out to be a great thing. And like I said, man, we really trying to make this a movement, because that's what the lady said. She said, is that a movement? Is that a group? Is that an organization? I said, man, it's a clothing line. They said,
Mm.
oh, it's a clothing line. Yeah, it's a clothing line. So hey, if that's what it is, if you got a group of individuals and y'all doing the greater of good, hey, stay
Yeah.
loyal. I don't want y'all to be loyal to no crazy stuff. They said, man, you said stay loyal. Not to no crazy stuff. Not to no crazy stuff. But
Okay, so,
basically, it's just buying into what you got going on, what you doing, what you helping to be great. That's what we all about, man. And learn from your past experiences. Spread your knowledge to be great, and hey, let's keep it moving. One piece of clothing at a time, baby. That's all I'm asking.
yes, sir. Yes, indeed. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna get this out to y'all as soon as possible. Unstoppable out. Peace.
Peace.